Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have to the latest from the live radar, run through the UK Met Office weather warnings, as we are going to be seeing some particularly potent thunderstorms perhaps through Sunday, as we do start to see low pressure pushing in off the Atlantic, bumping into the very warm and dry air we have at the moment, and that combination, as I said, could trigger some big storms. As we head into early next week, as we'll see from the latest UKV, it is going to be turning quite a bit more unsettled and cooler as well. However, we still have another couple of days coming up this weekend. Saturday and Sunday in certain areas is still going to be very warm and dry. Temperatures could even reach 26 or 27. As said though, as we progress into the longer term, it is going to turn much cooler and much more unsettled, and as we'll see from the longer range charts, that does look like it is going to dominate the sort of the middle portion of May. Tentative signs, perhaps it could improve towards the latter part of May, but nothing too concrete at this stage. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, do like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now if you start on the live radar, you can see really nothing to report for precipitation, as it is bone dry this evening for all of the UK really. If you look at the temperatures, it's around 9 PM and it's still very warm out there, especially inland across parts of the Midlands. Temperatures still around the 20 or 21 degree mark. I said it got up to around 23, 24 earlier. We'll look at those top temperatures in a minute. But up and down the country, warm and dry today. None of that rain in the north and west. Finally, a summer's day for all of the British Isles. If you do go over to net weather, you can see the top temperatures today were widely around the 23 to 24 degree mark. Again, I wouldn't be surprised somewhere locally got a little bit higher, but these are the sort of major weather stations here. And it could increase tomorrow, maybe 25, 26, and the same on Sunday, where it could even get to 27 or 28. So as we've seen over the past few days, it's increased by about a degree or so every day since we started to get towards the 20 degree mark through Monday and Tuesday. But it is all going to change as we head into Sunday evening in the west, and for all areas into Monday, as we start to see some thunderstorms. Now, we've got a thunderstorm warning initially here for western parts of Northern Ireland from 11 AM until 7 PM on Sunday. So actually, majority of the day could be affected by thunderstorms. As you see, slow-moving heavy showers with the risk of isolated thunderstorms may develop over west of Northern Ireland from late Sunday morning. 30 to 40 millimetres in places, maybe some hail and some potential, with a lot of lightning potentially as well. Should they develop though, the showers are likely to fade and die during the evening. So earlier on in the day, whereas if we go eastwards across parts of Wales and Western England, all the way from the south coast, all the way up towards the Scottish borders, it is likely to be a little bit later here from midday until 10 PM. So more the second half of the day, and especially the further northwards you are, more towards the afternoon and evening, potentially around lunchtime towards southern areas. And again, we're looking at pretty hefty thunderstorms, again looking at 30 millimetres an hour, 40 to 50 over a few hours, hail, frequent lightning, and strong winds will be additional hazards. And if we look at the impact matrix, it is medium impact and very low likelihood. Again, the warning is very widespread. The risks are different depending on your region, but we'll try and pinpoint those, especially in tomorrow's video. We've got more of the high resolution models out. But if we do go over to the UKV, it should give us some indication of what we could be seeing on Sunday. But as I said, we'll have to wait till tomorrow really to have a good idea on the exact development once we do get more models in that time frame, especially the Rome run. You can see as we head into Saturday, another bone dry day, pretty nice. Could be a few storms across southern Scotland and maybe northern England here. That has cropped up in the past day or two. Again, uncertain exactly how intense those will be. They do very much look like pop-up storms. They could occur and could be pretty severe, or they could just not take off at all, depending on the exact specific atmospheric circumstances. But another run here showing them taking off and dying through the afternoon into the evening. As we head into Sunday, we start to see the change through the morning. More showers further westwards, and then we start to see some of the thunderstorms taking off around lunchtime, especially for southern areas of those warning zones, and then turning more widespread as we head for the afternoon into the evening, slowly spreading northwards, could merge at times into lines of storms before dissipating away. The east could see a little bit of activity, but actually it does look relatively dry here, so we are likely to see those temperatures stay high with pretty bone dry conditions there. But as we head into Monday, rain coming in for all, especially for the west initially, and then into the evening, it spreads further eastwards, and we can see lots of heavy rain through much of Monday into Tuesday, and potentially even more rain into Wednesday. More of a showery outlook, but still rainfall and cloud and slightly cooler conditions. Now, if you look at, actually have a look at the mixed level Cape, just see what we could be seeing as we head into Sunday. You can see the Cape is highest further westwards, could be pretty intense in a few areas. Nothing out of the world at this stage, but you can see some reds and oranges mixed in there, which is quite a lot, and it could allow a few explosive storms to break out, especially there across southern Wales into northern England. So we have to keep a close eye on that. So now if we look at the max temperatures, you can see as we head into tomorrow, temperatures likely to rise once again into the low to mid 20s, 23 to 25 degrees. So very similar temperatures today. That top temperature could be a degree or so higher. As we head into Sunday and have a pretty warm night, and then temperatures rising once again into the afternoon, we could be looking at 25 to maybe as high as 27 or even 28, especially further eastwards. Further westwards could be warm initially before starting to cool down with those storms. But into Monday, temperatures perhaps, yes, 20, 21, but quite a big 5 or 6 degree cool down in many areas, and much cooler further westwards, just not as much in the east as the thick rain and heavy rain and thick cloud hadn't quite reached there yet. But into Tuesday, you can see all areas are cooler, maybe peaking at 18 to 20 degrees. And the same can be said for Wednesday. So it's not turning colder next week, but it is turning cooler. And yes, 20 degrees with sunshine and dry conditions like we've seen this week is a lot different to 20 degrees with cloud and areas of rain around. It's a much different feel out there. We are likely to be on that cooler end as we head into next week. So if you do now have a look at the log range, it starts on the latest GFS. You can see the high pressure in control at the moment, low pressure pushing in, causing those thunderstorms through Sunday, and then just generally unsettled conditions into next week. As said, low pressure continuing to dominate, but there are tentative signs high pressure could try and make a return. But here, low pressure kind of parks itself to the west and never fully allows the high pressure to dominate completely. Maybe in that southeast corner, but not further northwards and westwards, unfortunately. So it actually does keep it pretty unsettled indeed. And we can see that especially if we put on the accumulated precipitation. Just look at all that blue and purple moving in off the Atlantic, meaning yes, we are likely to see a little bit of an Atlantic onslaught. Not in terms of stormy weather, in terms of like windstorms, but definitely in terms of rain. You can see the further eastwards you go, there is less rain, but it is still not minimal at all. If you do look at the latest GM, hopefully has something else in store as we head towards day 10. Again, high pressure in control, low pressure coming off the Atlantic, kind of spiraling over the top of us. And towards day 10, we again do see some tentative signs of high pressure trying to build in. But you can see still low pressure trying to push in off the Atlantic. And you can see here from the upper air temperatures, it is not particularly warm, but it's not particularly cold either. No northwesterly or northerly wind. That cold air is still trapped well to our north. And you see the temperature deviation is hovering around or slightly above average. So not looking too cold from the GM, but and looking a little bit drier, but nothing substantial. Better than the GFS, but just nothing amazing. If you do compare to the ECMWF to finish off, again, it hasn't fully come out as I've updated this, and there we go, it has now come out. You can see again high pressure fully in control the next day or so before the low pressure pushes back in, and it kind of dominates through much of next working week. And again, high pressure trying to build in, but very similar to the GM, it's not allowed full control, and there's still some lower pressure milling around, giving showers and potentially more storms. Again, if we look at the upper air temperatures, there is some warm air around, but nothing amazingly warm. Still some fresher conditions towards the west. So it's kind of all right, nothing amazing, nothing terrible. That's the one positive next week is, yes, we are going to see lots of rain, but the temperatures aren't going to be abysmal. We aren't going to see a direct northerly that some runs had hinted at a few days ago. It does look like we will see generally average air stay around, so at least the temperatures will be in the mid to high teens most days. When we do get a bit of sunshine, maybe even 20 degrees. Now, if you finish by looking at the latest ensembles, you can see this well reflected. Again, we generally are well above average at the moment, dropping towards average through Monday and Tuesday, and staying around average for the next couple of weeks. Maybe tentative signs of a bit more above average in the longer term, but look at that, plenty of precipitation around, so it doesn't look like we're going to see anything bone dry, especially for southern areas from around Monday onwards. Saturday, Sunday, especially in the east on Sunday, dry, but by Monday it does look like the foreseeable future will have quite a bit of rain around, unfortunately. Hopefully though, high pressure does return, but just nothing too concrete at this stage. If you finish by looking at the ECWF ensembles, again well above average over the next day or two, and again very similar, dropping towards average and hovering around average with significant precipitation in many areas. So yes, warm, dry at the moment, feeling like summer. Not going to be too cold next week, but we are going to go back to more deluges, thunderstorms initially, before turning more into longer spells of rain, drizzle, light rain, cloud, thick cloud around, and just generally back more towards a winter or spring-like feel in terms of all of that westerly winds, and just generally that unsettled weather back, not the dry, settled, high pressure with lots of sunshine that we've seen this week. I'm sure it will come back. We've had a bit of a glimpse of it this week, about 4, 5, 6 days, depending on where you are. But we're going to go back until we head towards the end of April for a little bit as we head into next week. So I said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Do stay safe with those thunderstorms on Sunday. Of course, I'll have another video out tomorrow looking at that. Probably Saturday afternoon into the evening. We'll be looking at in detail with more of the high resolution charts and hopefully updated warnings as well, as it could be pretty lively in places. So I said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.